Hello, and welcome to the Digital Workspace Works podcast. I'm Ryan Purvis, your host, supported by our producer Heather Bicknell. In this series, you'll hear stories and opinions from experts in the field, stories from the front lines, the problems they face and how they solved them, the areas they focused on from technology, people and processes, to the approaches they took that will help you to get to the scripts with the digital workspace inner workings.
I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. No complaints. Good start to the week so far, behind on everything.
Yeah, so it goes. This was a 3-day weekend in the US, so I feel you. I'm feeling behind on everything.
Yeah. Well, actually, it's ironic because I thought, I'll make up some time because everyone in the US is off yesterday. And I didn't. I fell further behind. My my daughter had to go in to see a pediatric, and we had to do a whole bunch of tests. So that took up the whole afternoon. So joys of life. So I don't know if you've noticed on your watch, I've been doing a lot of the Apple Fitness workouts.
I have seen a few. Yeah. Do you want to give an update on how that's going?
Yeah. So I'm gonna reverse my opinion on it. Now that I've realized something that I was being a bit of an idiot about. So remember I said to you that I found when you start a session, I found the sort of way they spoke and the hand gestures very irritating. Well, I finally realized that they're actually not irritating hand gestures, they're American Sign Language.
Oh, yeah.
So now that I've realized that, it makes more sense. So now it doesn't bug me as much because clearly it's a language and I'm actually now learning sign language, which is like a bonus. So it's made a lot more sense of the workouts. I'm finding the workouts now a lot better. And I've actually been sneaking in extra workouts now during the day because they've got 5-minute and 10-minute workouts. So sometimes when I get to a gap in, back-to-back meetings or whatever, and I've got like 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes, I'll just pop on a workout and do something. I've got a mat behind. I use my mat that I stand on. I use that as a mat, and I'll do whatever it is. Not stuff that'll make you sweat, but like an ab workout or some yoga or whatever it is. So I've been doing that this week, which I'm finding really cool. And then I'm doing the HIIT workouts like I normally do. So yeah, I'm impressed. I still wish that I didn't have to listen to the whole workout through, like they force you to listen to their soundtrack and their guys talking. I'd still like to listen to my podcast while I'm doing the workout because I still enjoy that time to listen to something. But I'm enjoying them. I'm finding a much better experience.
That's good. Has the content changed much than when you had tried it before, or are they just adding kind of more of the same stuff?
So what they do is they've got a bunch of trainers, and they've added a few new ones recently, and they will record, obviously, a 30-minute, a 20-minute, a 10-minute in their specialities. So Bakari, who's one of my favorites, he does a lot of HIIT stuff. So he will have a new one every week or so, and then they just cycle those out. So you can see, like if you do the filter by HIIT and then by 30 minutes, you'll see what he's got new that week, and it'll be like episode 22 or episode 11 or whatever they're doing. There's also another one I like, Kim. She also puts out a new one. And then they've also added some categories. So there was yoga, there was Pilates. Now there's a core that I've seen. There's a couple other ones now, and you could do ones with weights and with equipment. So they've been adding those. So in general, it's a pretty good experience now. You can, as I said, mix in stuff like if I've got 5 minutes to do some stretching. Or say like a core workout or something like that, and it ties in nicely with the watch. So I could put the iPad down and it'll say it's ready to start. You just start it off your watch and you kick off. So that's quite good. And then the other thing, because I've signed up for the Apple One package subscription, I've got access to Apple Music as well. So if you like so I usually pick the sort of dance or anthems based workouts, and if you want the music afterwards, it's in your music list. So you can play it from there as well if there's something that you liked or a song that you were looking for, something like that. So that is quite good. That's really the whole ecosystem thing. They're really pulling you in there. So I like it. I've been impressed with it. And the only thing, there's obviously many ways to improve it. Like, for example, I would think at some point you should be able to give it predefined things that you'd like to do, or should learn the workouts you like to do, and then preload those for you. Because I always download the workout. I don't want, sometimes if the Wi-Fi is a bit dodgy in the middle of a workout, then it freezes while it tries to stream it down from America. So I always download the workouts. And that can be a bit of a pain, because sometimes I'll look at my watch and go, I've got 25 minutes or maybe 30. I can maybe squeeze in a HIIT workout. And then I want to download the workout, and the workout takes 30 minutes to download. So then I'm sitting there going, okay, well, that was a waste of time. So now I've got a couple downloaded, but it would just make sense. It's like a podcast would work. The next episode is just downloaded for you, and you just set that as a preference.
Yeah, that would be a good feature. Well, you're making me want to try it again. I had enjoyed it when I had the subscription. My main negative with it was I had to use my phone to actually watch the workout. So
yeah,
I think they have AirPlay on it now. I looked this up to see if they have it. So if I could cast it to my TV, we would be back in business. But because it didn't work on the Mac, like a MacBook, you couldn't use it there. And then the iPad is under my partner's login. It's his Apple ID, so I couldn't use the iPad with my Apple Fitness. So I just had my phone, which is a bad experience.
Yeah,
too small.
So, yeah, I can understand that. It depends on where. I mean, I work with my iPad as usual as the tool of choice. So, and I go sit outside and do it. So I couldn't really use the TV anyway. But I did buy a Amazon. It's a long thin one. Fire TV. It's called a Fire TV.
Mm-hmm.
I bought that, and that's got the Apple TV app on it. And both my LG TVs here have got Apple TV apps on it as well. So I think that's become a little bit more expanded. But yeah, maybe it's worth that investment in a new iPad at some point. Even the little mini one might work for you.
Yeah, maybe. I guess. Next holiday season. Put it on my list.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I mean, they are a treat, but sometimes those treats become go-to devices.
I'm sure I'd find uses for a second iPad, but I don't know. But yeah, no, it's glad you are enjoying those. It is. There's something really satisfying, right, about seeing your rings on the screen and the progress bar against other people who have done the workout. Those are nice touches.
Oh no, that's gamification, and that works like a charm. I mean, even today I didn't sleep well last night. I had probably about 4 hours sleep, so I wasn't really in the mood. But I thought I'll just do it slowly. I'll just push myself. I always say push myself. I'll do the 30 minutes, and I just will go with the flow. And there were times when and I'm competitive, so I always want my little notch to be at the end on that burn bar. I've got to be pushing my limits. And I've seen that I wasn't, pissed me off, and I pushed myself a bit harder to get back up there. So it definitely works. And I mean, I still walk in the morning when I wake up. So I'd already closed all my rings by the time I did the workout. So that doesn't always make a difference to me. But that and the thing, because the countdown timer, because everything's on your watch as well, which is some of the challenges I have with other workout platforms. Is that the watch app isn't very good. But the watch app for fitness is actually quite good, because you can be doing your workout, it's counting down the time on the device, but you can also look on your watch and you can see it counting down. So that definitely makes it a bit better experience.
Yeah, definitely. There's still there's two things I wish the Apple Watch would have when it comes to the rings. One is a streak freeze. So I don't know if you've ever used Duolingo. Other apps probably do this as well, where you have just I have 290 some days in Duolingo right now, and I think I've used 2 streak freezes. So one day I, forgot or was extra busy. I don't lose that, huge streak that I built up. I wish Apple Watch had something like that. And then pre-programmed rest days would be nice, with the ability to do that, because, or, even if you still want to have, let's say, a lower movement goal on like a recovery day, but you don't want it to be as high, because what I do is I kind of set a low threshold for my metrics, because just so I can have a streak, versus like being able to be more ambitious about it on some days versus others. I wish it was a bit more flexible.
Yeah, it's a good point, because there's actually evidence that says if you, and we are coached, in society, that you've always been pushing your boundaries, but there is some science to the fact that if you make your goals attainable, you tend to exceed them at a greater rate, because you've met the easy, the easy goal, but you've met the goal, and then you can push harder. Whereas if the goal's too far away, you tend to give up because it's just unattainable. And I think I told you a story. I think it was IBM. They used to set their sales guys' targets really low, and then have accelerators for the bigger numbers. And the guys would always hit the low number, which was their target, like the initial target. But then they'd really have to work hard for the accelerators. And they did, because they'd already achieved something. So yeah, I could see that. And I have tricks around that streak stuff, because I refuse to not close my rings every day. So that always happens.
So you just you do some jumping jacks, or how do you? What are your tricks?
So the first thing is I go if I'm up early, which is usually every day, I go for a walk. Fast 20-25 minute walk, maybe longer if I can. It all depends on what time the kids wake up. Usually I get a phone call while I'm walking saying, "Hey, you need to come home. The kids are awake." So that's the first trick. Then it's done, and that's like 6 in the morning, 5 in the morning, which is fine where we are because it's summer. It might be a little bit different in winter. If that's not possible, then I jump rope. Again, 20 minutes. I try to do it away from the house because that's quite noisy. Otherwise, I will, if I haven't made it to gym or something like that, I'll pick an activity, like a household activity, and then I'll start the exercise timer on that. So if I'm going to sweep the floor, or I'm going to wash the dishes, or whatever it is, that I include that as part of my activity stuff, because sometimes the watch doesn't pick that up, but you actually are doing something. If you're scrubbing a frying pan after you've made something, that could be heavy work sometimes. And then I also count like playtime with the kids. If I'm on the ground and we're doing wrestling or playing cards or whatever it is, and I'm using those as opportunities to stretch in different positions, doing planks and all that stuff, because my son really likes it if I do a plank, because then he can come jump on my back while he's got his cars underneath me or something like that. I count all that stuff. So that just keeps the things ticking over. Plus, it all synchronizes into my online diary, so I can look at the day and go, "Oh, here's another," which means I was probably doing something with the kids. And usually I write an entry when I remember that this is what we did at that time. So everything syncs through Strava and an app called RunGap, which synchronizes all my things together and puts it into day one, which is my diary, my journal.
Run cap, you said? Is that what it's called?
RunGap, GAP.
Gap.
Yeah.
So that's 4 apps you just listed between Apple Watch, Strava.
Yeah, so Apple Watch is obviously where I measure. Well, for most workouts, it's Apple Fitness now. Like if I'm doing a workout at home, it's Apple Fitness. And I'm always trying to do a HIIT workout or a yoga. I'm going to try Pilates tomorrow, because that's that I'm a bit nervous about. So that's my home workout app now. Then I use another app called Fitbod, FITBOD, which is my workouts in the gym. And there are home workouts that I've designed in there, because it's an AI-based app or planner. So it takes into account all the things you've done, and then it works out your next routine based on either muscle fatigue or whether you're doing a push-pull legs routine, whatever it is, and work out all the exercise. You don't have to think about it. Just go there. You do the next. You just do them. And you could say, like, I want this to be an hour-long workout, and then, you push through for an hour. Those two things both synchronize with Apple Fitness or Apple Health. And then I use Strava to track. Well, only reason I need Strava is Strava is an intermediary into my day one journal. Then I use RunGap, and RunGap basically sucks in all the workouts from all the different apps you can have. There's about 8 or 9 that I know of. There's plenty more than that. Sucks them all into one place and then puts those all into Strava. And then Strava is my intermediary to put it straight into my day one journal.
A lot of apps, but it sounds like you have a system worked out.
Yeah, because I used to do it manually, and it becomes such a pain because then you got to remember to do it. Then it's like, just did 100 push-ups. Now I'm going to write down 100 push-ups. Why not just have it automatically go in? So if I do a functional training, I'll know that my functional training is usually squats and push-ups and pull-ups and whatever. I don't really care about that detail. I just care on this day. Last year I did 20 minutes of functional. And this year I'm doing HIIT workouts. So I can see that's the kind of level that I care about. It's like, what am I doing physically different, and how do I feel about it? Am I more flexible, less flexible, that sort of thing? Because that's the thing I'm worried about at the moment. I'm hitting that. I'm in the 40s now, so flexibility is becoming more important than just strength.
Yeah, no, I can see that. Mobility super super key. That's why I like yoga. Pilates is nice for that too. Just mobility work while doing some body weight. Yeah. So you don't have any analytics kind of on the back end of all of that. You just you're more looking for, what did I do? How did it benefit in terms of kind of what are you using the look back for? Or is it just to have a log?
It's just a log at this point. I'm not training for anything in particular, so it's just about doing it every day. And you can ask my wife, if I don't train in the morning, I'm grumpy as hell the whole day. And I think it's, I've got ADHD, and I think that's a big part of it, because by doing that exercise, the rest of the day is pretty easy. I can focus, I can get things done. But if I don't do it, then I always feel like I've got this extra energy to burn off. What I do keep a track on visually is how's my sleeping going. So I can, like I said, I didn't sleep well last night. So I didn't work out as hard today. So I'll see how my sleep is tonight. Maybe I'll be back to normal. And then I try and get a 10-minute meditation in as well. Especially because I'm going into, meetings until the next 3-4 hours. So I try to get that 10-minute in. That or I chew on Nicorettes, which is my other secret trick. I'll say secret, it's pretty well known nicotine helps you concentrate. So I get the benefit of the nicotine without the smoking.
Interesting. I just go for more coffee, less caffeine.
Well, the problem with coffee is a stimulant, so you kind of go up and down like a roller coaster. Whereas if you hit the nicotine, it kind of takes you up, and then you slowly come down. The only problem is if you take it too late in the day, I find you struggle to sleep as well. So I've seen that in the data as well. And that's with Oura Ring is so useful.
Yeah, so keeping track of those other metrics. Well, cool. Yeah, you've definitely inspired me to give Apple Fitness Plus another go. I don't know how many fitness apps one needs, but it is a nice one in that it's so integrated, and it has the different music selections and just a different vibe. So it is a cool app.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's still the gaps that I think I picked up the first time that they can improve on. But as I say, it's paid for out of my Apple One subscription. So if I was paying for it as a separate customer, like if I was paying £80 a year or whatever it is, I would expect a lot more. But now that I'm paying $30 a month, which I know is a lot more, but I'm getting my news, my data, my TV, all that together, I'm less fussed about it. it's just a nice filler.
Mm-hmm. Way less than a gym membership, if you think about it that way.
Well, this is the thing. When we go back to the UK, we will probably still have a gym membership, but the gym will be 15 minutes drive away. Much like it's not like now it's 5 minutes away. And, sometimes you just don't have the time to get out there. And I'm actually doing a thing on burnout at the moment. And one of the biggest factors to avoiding burnout is exercise and having breaks. And, the 30-minute, 15-minute workouts, even the 10-minute ones, are a great way just to break up the day and do something for yourself, when you've had a long day.
Yeah, for sure. You were sort of mentioning the mood benefits of exercise earlier, and it's definitely real stuff. It's just making the time for it, and if you're doing it during the workday, giving yourself permission to take 5 minutes to do something for yourself that ultimately, right, makes you have a better workday anyway. So. Yeah,
look, and there are moments when you're like, oh, I should either do this email or I should do 5 minutes of this. And sometimes I just write down what I want to do, what I want to do with the email, and I go do the workout, and I come back, and then what I was thinking I was going to do with the email, I change my mind, and it's now different. I've had that time, that break, to rethink it, or deprioritize it, which could have been an impulsive thing, or actually the wrong approach, and you've now broken the frenetic piece of the day, and you're like, oh, actually, I don't need to see anything. I'll just phone the guy and talk to him. Sort it out, whatever it is.
Yeah. Well, was there anything else you wanted to chat about today?
No, I think that's good. It was bugging me that we hadn't spoken about my changed opinion on Apple Fitness. And I was doing a workout this morning, and I wondered I wanted to talk about it because I know you get the notification on your watch as well. So I thought I'd bring it up.
Yeah, no, I'm glad we've cleared the air on Apple Fitness Plus review change. Well, yeah, I'll see if I maybe in a little bit I'll have my own second opinion on it. We'll see.
Cool.
All right.
All righty. We'll leave it there then.
Sounds good.
Cool. Thanks, Dave. Talk to you later. All right. Cheers, Dave. Bye.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to today's episode. Heather Bicknell is our producer and editor. Thank you, Heather, for your hard work on this episode. Please subscribe to the series and rate us on iTunes or the Google Play Store. Follow us on Twitter @the DWW Podcast. The show notes and transcripts will be available on the website www.digitalworkspace.works. Please also visit our website www.digitalworkspace.works and subscribe to our newsletter. And lastly, if you found this episode useful, please share with your friends or colleagues.